And oh, and if you ever get lost, like I do, you can actually see your path. So if you walk in circles and you want to embarrass yourself, you can actually look at it in the map. So let's see here. What do you think? What should I do here?
You could.
I could fall off a
Whoops.
cliff.
That's gonna be 4 very fat ankles.
Oh, I'm still alive. It's fine. Poor Horsey.
Yep.
Horsey's gonna like just cry. So we have just a little bit left. I'll passively walk forward and keep on going. But coming up next, as I mentioned, we're gonna have Matt Goldman and also Matt Rhodes who are gonna talk about art. They're gonna talk about creating the world of Dragon Age Inquisition with Mike Laidlaw. And then also after that, which is gonna be 4 p.m. Mountain Time, so I am really bad with time zones, but you can check World Time Buddy, I'm sure. David Gator will be here to talk about writing. Oh my god, I'm gonna die. He'll be here to talk about writing with Mike Laidlaw. And it's just gonna be a lot of fun until Inquisition almost comes out tonight, or it does come out tonight. Oh my god, the camp. This is the camp we died on yesterday.
This is the camp we seized yesterday.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we actually did get it yesterday when we died first time.
Yeah, that's not until a lot of dying.
Oh, we have enough. We're fine. Sort of. Kind of.
Maybe.
Perhaps.
Almost.
We're trying too hard here. Yeah, we're gonna be elegant. We got this. I'm gonna try and kill this dude within the next couple of minutes that we have here. Oh, and there's also one of these. Oh, no. Nope. Just attack. Always kill that dude first, or go after his ads. Don't go for all of them at the same time. Primarily because there are these archers that will crit you a nightmare pretty hard. And by crit, I mean critical damage, so it will, like, you are dead just with one arrow. There are a couple of boxes around here that you should use as line of sight. I know, I just switched over from lore into gameplay, but like these boxes right here, you can also use them as tactical cover. And there's also these ones here. I suggest them highly, if you can get over. Rogues are gonna have a lot of fun in this area, if you can do it right.
A decent enough place to camp, I suppose.
I suppose.
I suppose.
I suppose.
Excellent work.
This is full circle. We're ending with...
We're ending on exactly the same note we ended yesterday.
Yes.
Only you got it this time, I got it yesterday.
Yeah. I didn't die either. That's the good part. Okay, so thanks for having us. My name is Ash, and this is Nick.
I'm Nick. I was one of the tech artists on DAI.
And I make Dragon Age videos, and a lot of them. But thank you guys for joining us in the chat. Stay tuned because we're going to be continuing the dialogue. So, stay here. Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.
Begin by using Fade Cloak to momentarily from the blood of enemies. Here is an example of using 3 of these abilities together. Start with Ring of Pain to do AoE damage and increase the potency of other Reaver abilities.
Xbox One. Now.
For almost 1,000 years, the world believed it was in the hands of the Maker. And now many believe you are the agent of his will. Whatever the truth is, that belief gives you power.
There is a place that waits for a force to hold it. There is a place where the Inquisition can build, grow.
You will resist. You will always resist. It matters not.
Dragon Rage does massive damage by taking some of your health. Finally, use Devour to rip out the heart of your enemy and replenish your health. Which specialization will you choose?
I'll take my leave.
See you tomorrow, hon.
There she is.
Get your filthy hands off of me!
Oh, stop being so shy, lass. All I want is a little taste. You ungrateful...
She's not interested. But Bianca here is a sucker for drunk, dumb, and ugly. Take a hint, human.
Madame, the negotiations are far from concluded. Madame,
Unlike the Empress, we will not be charmed by your parlor tricks.
Alas, it appears more urgent matters demand my attention. Now, run along, dear.
The threat will unite them. You will lead them.
Charmed by your parlor tricks.
Alas, it appears more urgent matters demand my attention. Now, run along, dear.
The threat will unite them. You will lead them.
Something's coming. Something's on its way. Mountains are crumbling like statues of clay. Something's on its way into the darkness. We are one. Into the darkness. We all must run.
Xbox One.
Madame, the negotiations are far from concluded. Madame! Unlike the Empress, we will not be charmed by your parlor tricks.
Alas, it appears more urgent matters demand my attention. Now, run along, dear.
The threat will unite them. You will lead them.
Hey folks, I'm the disembodied voice of Mike Laidlaw. I'm off screen going to be playing, and with me I have several of the art team, some of the core people behind the visuals you'll see in Dragon Age Inquisition. You will see in the white Mr. Matthew Rhodes, who is our senior concept artist. He draws all the things.
Hey guys.
With him is Matt Goldman, the art director, who is providing the vision and direction for the entire art team, including animation, and Andre Santos, who designs and creates many, many levels across the world, including terrain, and even some of the playable side. I think you've even worked on multiplayer, haven't you, Andre?
At this point, yes.
Yeah, awesome. Cool. So, guys, I think what people will be curious to see is sort of some of the core inspiration, some of the thoughts behind the process of designing the ideas behind the Space Inquisition, and then later on in the stream we'd like to go into where, how does the rubber hit the road, essentially?
Hmm.
I'm conceding.
Excellent questions. All right, well, key inspiration. Do you want me to do that, or do you want to do it?
You start off, and I'll...
Okay, well, I mean, key inspiration, obviously, is the writing from our writing team. Visually, we have to, create the visual universe around the culture and the setting. And we started off with some primary reference. Andre can talk about how he's actually gone on site to take photographs of actual natural areas. We've developed certain palettes and visual language design languages for each of the areas and each of the cultures. So there you go.
Yeah.
There's a non-answer. Basically, we start by thinking about it really hard.
Then moving pixels around.
Yeah. Then we start putting down some pixels.
No, it's Inquisition was a great opportunity to really push into faction design. That was one of the things that we had certain groups, but because we know we were going to go to some very distinct places, we're going to talk to some very distinct groups, we're able to start really, really, really early thinking about just the design languages for all of them. So everything from Wardens, we knew there was Orlesians, for Eldon, we're going to be pushing more into that, and yeah, more so than previous Dragon Age games, we just were able to grab onto those cultures and try to flesh them out.
Is this the Storm Coast that we're in right now?
It is, yeah.
So one of the kind of interesting things that we were able to do, working with Mike and his team is wonderful, is that I'm a student of history, and topology often defines what happens in history. So we tried things a little bit different here. In the Storm Coast, we created an interesting area, one that was fun to explore visually, had a strong visual theme, storminess. Developed a kind of hydrology of the area, and populated it with creatures and with stone formations. And we worked side by side with the writing team and the level design team to actually come up with what would happen inside a landscape that looked like that. So that's a little bit different from usually the way we work is we get a story synopsis, and then we try to create a believable space around that, something that's interesting to explore and helps unveil the plot piece by piece. But with these larger explore areas, we kind of started off the other way around, and we made an interesting piece of terrain, something that's fun to explore and hop around and root around in the underbrush.
It was
and
really
added
great.
story to it. Yeah.
In some cases, actually, Matt, you guys did a bunch of concepts for really cool thematic type levels that actually ended up translating to really good wilderness levels that made it into the game, like the Bog for one.
Yeah.
Fallow Mire, and there's
Forbidden Oasis.
Yeah.
That's right. Well,
hissing wastes.
The great thing was too though, because this was the collaborative side of this, and just it's nice working with the Frostbite engine and World Machine, being able to create environments that are inspirational in their own right. And the funny thing is, as a concept artist, I poured through my folders and realized, oh yeah, that's right. We didn't actually do that much for the Storm Coast. There was one image, and the level artist I think it was Andrew.
Yeah.
That worked on it. He just went nuts on it, and every time I would load it up, it felt like there was a bigger stretch, and it was actually for a while I would just load it up, get on the horse, and just go for a ride. And even in a blank space, again, like Matt says, because topology dictates history.
Yeah.
It's there are just logical places to build lookouts. There are logical places to build really anything. It just starts to tell you, like, if I was logically, I want to be near water, I want to have a good view, we would need stairs. It sort of grew on its own.
Yeah, a lot of these exploration levels are kind of like a jam session. We lay down a fat groove, and then Mike Laidlaw come in and like do some Waylon lyrics on top. Get the sound guys to add the guitar solo.
Yeah, I think for a lot of these wilderness areas, we try to have like a good basis in reality. I mean, this particular area was kind of, I guess, modeled after Vancouver, British Columbia. We actually did a trip out there. You get a lot of ground textures, tree textures, so everything you're seeing in here is pretty close to what we saw there. And when you're modeling after kind of real space, a lot of cool nooks and crannies and kind of interesting areas in the real world kind of end up being the terrain levels when we make them. So it becomes pretty easy to fit really interesting story moments into these locations when the terrain is already supporting that kind of content.
Alex Scott has this contraption he made. It's like this big pole with dials all over it, so you can put the camera way up in the sky and get a nice flat picture of rocks or whatever. It kind of looks like a bazooka.
Yeah.
So taking that through customs was pretty fun.
Yeah. It got stuck, actually. We had to, the customs lady had to crawl into the x-ray machine to pull it out.
Now we have some people wondering how you guys actually do the art. Do you do it by hand? Is there physical stuff? Like, how does it go from being art and getting into the game?
By any means necessary.
Yeah.
No, a lot of the time, some of the best stuff we've done has started off just as drawings on the whiteboard, talking to everybody. We do say now that concept art is 50% conversation. It's just finding out what everybody needs, because there's the story we're telling, but combat design has requirements. Level art can build things that are amazing, but there are particular ways to build things. So it's always trying to find a visual solution that serves everybody's needs, and we kind of try to get out of everybody's way. But we do still use pencil and paper, mostly a lot of Photoshop, and in some cases just because we're collaborating with such strong teams, we can kind of work shorthand. So a little bit of conversation, a sketch in a notebook, sometimes just forcing a couple photos together helps communicate the idea, and we can move on. And then if an area is particularly exciting, maybe we'll move on to a more elaborate illustration or a beat board or storyboard, that kind of thing.
You can talk to some of our cool systems.
Sure. In terms of actually creating the art for the environments, a lot of it still use a lot of photographs as the basis for